our next storyteller. A big hand for Shannon Haddock, everybody.
My husband and I got married on April 15th, 1995. We wanted a date we could all remember, and it has been successful in doing so. And we weren't able to take a honeymoon until July of that year. So we, smart as we are, decided to take a canoe camping trip for a week-long adventure on the Buffalo River in Arkansas, the Ozarks. And if you've ever spent July in Alabama, and it's pretty much the same in Arkansas. It's very, very hot. We went and we'd heard a lot about the beautiful Buffalo River. And so we, of course, with canoe camping, you pack everything you need for a week-long trip in, cooking, camping, clothing, everything in the canoe. So we start our journey and had this wonderful experience. It was just beautiful. We didn't see, I think on the trip, we may have had 2 other humans pass us. Like when we were camping or in the morning or something. That was it, an entire week alone together. And you can imagine, we were young and we weren't wearing a whole lot of clothes, just bathing suits, the whole week. And put up a little flag on our canoe, just crawling down the river. And there's something about our connection, my husband and I. It's very much that chemical attraction thing going on. And you hear of these great romances in movies and such. It's based on chemical dependency. You complete me, chemical dependence. I can't quit you, chemical dependence. It's all chemistry. And thank God, not only has our chemistry been in sync, but we've had, almost 30 years together. So all worked out great. So I've been reading a little bit about that. I'm like, is that a real thing? And research shows that, yes, that people do get chemically connected. There's some kind of pheromone, of course, emitted by men when they sweat. But evidently the research shows that once it hits oxygen or becomes oxidized, it changes. And that repels women. That's what it shows. Yes, initially the sweat you might get attracted to, but eventually it's a repellent. That's not the case with us. I'm always like, oh, you went outside, come up here and snuggle. That's really just desperate. It's all good. I'm embarrassing him, I know. But anyway, we had this wonderful, wonderful time. The water was crystal clear, and we could stand up to here in the water, and you could see your feet just being nibbled on by little fishies. And we had a wonderful time of fixing every meal together, and I even surprised him making homemade beignets one morning on the side. It was all a farce. It was like, it's our honeymoon, I'll convince him I can cook. So anyway, we ended our trip. I made a reservation at a B&B. B&Bs were a thing, Airbnb was not. There weren't a lot of, this is the wilderness of the Ozarks. And this B&B was run by a retired woman who, if I remember right, it's been so many years, she was recently widowed, but she was alone running the place. And we were their only guests, and her only guest. And if I remember right, she followed us everywhere. She would, very courteous Southern, do you need anything? Do you want me to make something? Do you want? But it became like, we're on our honeymoon. Go away. Oh, have you seen the flock of sheep that I keep over here? And I'm like, yeah. So, we ended up and had a great time together. And I have to say that, you know, like I said, our chemical bond has kept us together happily and sweatily. And I can say that I probably wouldn't go canoe camping for an entire week in Arkansas, especially not in July.
Keep it going for Shannon Haddock, everyone.